to go for game number 1, so let's hop into it so we can get a lot of these questions answered on how these two teams will approach it here. I love my American Dota, but it will be sad to see one of these teams drop out from the Shanghai Major. And look how we begin already. It's going to be Evil Geniuses with the first pick on Radiant side. Complexity have the Dire side. They ban out the Tiny. They ban out the Beastmaster. And before I throw it over to you guys for more draft analysis, I have to say, yeah, Beastmaster has been a power pick for a lot of the teams here, but Complexity's luck with it has not been so good. 5 matches already with Beastmaster at the Shanghai Major. Complexity's record with Beastmaster, 1-4.
You know, this might signal that EG are going to look to pick the Sven up very early. I think I mentioned a few times during the panel, I think a lot of the games that the Sven got out of control because there was no good hero to deal with it. And yesterday, during the last few series, we saw that Beastmaster can be dealt with by having a lot of disable, especially the Beastmaster, because you can scout the Ancients. Those are the key things that you want to have against Beastmaster. Sorry, against the Sven.
And it looks like for the first time at the Shanghai Major, will we see Fear playing the Earth Spirit here. And it's funny because, you know, Earth Spirit, I never had seen Fear play any Earth Spirit before it was added into Captain's mode. And of course, it's like every team needs an Earth Spirit player now. And I gotta say, Fear is really a freak of nature. He picked up that hero and made it look like he'd been a natural from the get-go. So this is going to be pretty scary here for Complexity. And, well, I know that familiar beeping sound. It sounds like they were able to snag up the Wisp in their first round.
Oh, you're the only one with the luxury of hearing that beeping sound, Dakota.
I'll do you the favor then. They got Wisp. Will they follow it quickly up with the... Oh, they can't get the Tiny here, so we'll have to see what they're going to be pairing it up with this
They
round.
might actually snatch the Tide of the Enigma here, I think. Because based on what I saw EG done, they might actually just go for all the heavy team fights heroes when they see the Wisp pick up.
Do you think they're going to want to prioritize the OD in this kind of matchup?
Later.
Even against EG, a team that you don't think they themselves as
they're
well
very
try to take it away from coL.
EG like their Nyx a lot, and they can play it in all, I guess 3 positions: support, mid, and off lane. So maybe if they ban it out in the second phase, but I don't think they'll pick it up now. I think they would immediately counter with the Nyx.
What if Complexity decide to pick up the Sven early? And actually, again, with my benefit of sound, OD is
I
right.
see the hero. What are they?
Yeah.
We can see the hero from here.
They grabbed the Outworld Devourer and
That's
Never
here.
mind.
That's here.
and a Darkseer for EG.
Darkseer is it's obviously a hero that both teams have been picking up, and
The Iron Shell
gonna
on
be
Earth
high
Spirit
contested.
is very, very good.
the Mirana ban, that's brilliant as well from EG. Because Complexity, with the we've seen, I think, was it just the OD that's been doing that combo? Sorry, Complexity that's been doing that combo. MVP as well. Yeah, just the Mirana into OD. It's incredibly disruptive.
Yeah, I know I mentioned a Tide as team fight, but Darkseer is still a good team fight. And the other thing Darkseer provides is like what you mentioned, Dakota, the Iron Shell and the Earth Spirit. And the other thing good about having Darkseer here is because IO is most likely going to be roaming, and Darkseer is going to be able to have a good time. Because you want to pick Darkseer into a favorable matchup. You have 2 heroes in the lane. That's where Darkseer excel at. So overall, a very good opening and very solid opening from EG, and Complexity as well, with a very good opening in terms of having good lanes. You're gonna have good lanes to get your early game going with the Wisp and the OD. Both of these heroes provide a lot during the laning phase.
So what's EG's tools to deal with the Wisp? We've seen them pick like Lion a lot, but that was banned in the first phase. We see them pick Clinks, that's also banned out. OD is also a solution, but it's been taken by Complexity. Enigma Tide, they already have their offlaner right now. Tide has been banned out, and Fear is also the Enigma player. So do they actually need a direct solution to the IOs, or is it just not that big of a deal?
Suppose you could get PPD like a disruptor or something, but yeah.
They're gonna do something else very, very different because, generally, when an enemy team opens with this type of heroes, they will always go for the team fight. But just because they are going for Darkseer and Earth Spirit, I think they are gonna do something different from what we have seen in the group stages. Disruptor, I'm not sure if they played it in the group stages. I think no.
I don't think we've seen EG do that now.
Yeah, it's obviously a good pick versus the Relocate. Just look at what Complexity is banning right now. They're banning out heroes that are really strong in the laning phase. The Klings, the Lycan, heroes that can actually bully the offlaner a lot and have a very fast tempo. Obviously, Klings is really good versus the IO in team fights because you can just go behind and just target him down fairly easily. And same goes for the Lycan.
One hero that is still in the pool that we were talking about the other day that's kind of fallen out of favour, had her kind of moment of fame, is the Enchantress, and we do know that of course Swindles he does like to play. He played it a lot back at Starland, a little less so here.
I think they might need more control though, like maybe a panda. I know Swindles like plays all these heroes. Like Enchantress is obviously really good in the lane.
OD again, nice call. He seems to know complexity pretty damn well. Enchantress is going to be the third pickup here.
I think it's very risky though, because as you mentioned, like Earth Spirit and Darkseid is already setting up for monstrous team fight. They could easily go like.
Wait, do you think it might be it's just support so that they can help the lanes instead of, because I don't think like it's very good in the off lane this game. Like,
I guess as I said, Swindles is the player of it.
they do run it on support, from time to time, or it's just exclusively on Swindles.
I've seen them run it both ways personally, but
isn't it mostly Z Freak that would play it though?
Yeah.
If
it's a
of course,
jungling hero.
Yeah, that's some Hon stuff. Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I think that off-lane Enchantress is still a question mark this game, whether they will do it. But because they can afford to put it on the position 4, so I guess it's still open for them, whether they want to use it as a support to help the lanes.
Oh, the third pick CM.
Does feel a bit interesting, but obviously Crystal Main very good against Enchantress, being able to get rid of that extra creep, so,
Freezing Field against Relocate? Sounds good. I mean, vacuum, you can set up it with a vacuum into Freezing Field against the Relocate. I've never seen it before, but it sounds like a good plan on paper. And you can set up for the Earth Spirit as well. Their team fight right now looks really strong on EG.
Yeah, Earth Spirit does suffer a bit in the mana department early, so that Aura certainly will help the whole team across the board. Now we go back to Complexity side, and they are going to say...
Off-lane Enchantress.
Yeah, we are not going to be allowing Universe to have a very good time in this Darkseid. We will pick up the Oracle, and as you said, that will identify Enchantress as now a core off-lane position.
Yeah, Oracle feels like a hero as well that a lot of teams they just don't touch upon at all. I mean, do you feel that the hero is incredibly strong, or is it just not? That's just not the case, or do teams not know what they're doing with it?
I think Oracle is like a hero that is obviously really good, but I think I said this before. Like, I feel the hero has to be picked into a situation where he can be extremely useful, like against a Bat Rider. Obviously, in this case, against the Darkseid, the Iron Shell, you can't just pick the hero for no reason, like just as an opening, like a Tusk or a Spirit. He has to be picked into a specific situation despite being a really good hero.
Is he strong enough against Darkseid to warrant him being picked here? I feel like he's the same as Abaddon.
I think they are protecting their lanes because they see the Earth Spirit, like Dakota mentioned earlier, like the Earth Spirit plus the Iron Shell and Darkseid. They want to protect their safe lane with the Oracle because Oracle can neutralize the pressure from these two heroes. So that pick, I feel, has a very strong influence because of wanting to protect the safe lane.
I feel like in the big picture, though, it's going to suffer a lot.
Yeah, because they don't have stuns. Like, you look at their lineup, they don't have stuns, It's like Ursa is going to run in with Iron Shell and he's going to just wreak havoc right now, as I see it. So Ursa is an extremely good pick here for EG.
I mean, you can't deny the synergy amongst the team of Complexity as far as sustain goes, though. Oracle's False Promise is going to get a lot of benefit from his heals, the Enchantress heals, the Wisp heals. So there's going to be a lot of durability.
They don't have disable, they don't have stuns. And my friend here, plays Gyrocopter with no homing missile, so he's got to know a lot about having no stuns. So what do you think, my friend? Is this going to work? No stun, Dota.
As you said, I think they do need control. Do we see Complexity ever really draw out the Slark card? Or do you think, could we see something even more classic? Do you think they go for like a CKIO pairing here?
Possibly, as long as their last pick has some sort of disable. Like, they need disable, they need lockdown for sure. Chessie plays... does he play the CK? Like, I feel like he's like the Invoker player, if you talk about disables, having disables. And if Invoker is extremely good versus Ursa, I know Ben mentioned this a lot during the panel, like, because when it goes to later part of the game, you have so many spells to actually kite him and make sure that he's not going to be able to right-click on your teammates.
Reserve time.
The Brew Band is going to be coming out, so they're kind of... Yeah, it seems like they're not identifying what Complexity are exactly doing, because it is typically Swindle who plays the Brew hero here.
Does Chessie actually play the Brew? Maybe?
He played Brew when he was on Alliance.
I see,
I don't think he's played it that much on Complexity.
They definitely need like some sort of like team fight control lockdown, a Park or like something like Park Panda, heroes like this. I'm not sure how well Invoker would work with their lineup. I know he likes to play the hero a lot.
Any other Wisp pairings though?
I think
Sven's
he
still there.
mentioned CK.
Sven's there.
CK, Sven.
there.
I'd like to see a slot, but yeah, maybe not from complexity.
Slug means 0 stuns.
You got a little bit of control to catch, just stop people surging away.
Yeah, that's true.
They've run Troll once.
Oh god.
Complexity?
I think they want to
They
win.
ran Troll?
Troll. Man.
That would be...
I would love to see
Imagine
a troll
beating
come out, man.
PPD with Troll Warlock.
It's gonna be like some.
Swindle would love it.
This is gonna be like some very special pick, like because it's very difficult to pick in this situation, and I'm sure Mr. Captain Swindles has something prepared for
They
his
could do
team.
like Wisp Morph too. Wisp Morph I think
What about
is
Aya Bristle?
pretty stable.
Or is that not enough
I
control?
don't think Bristle's that great versus the Ursa,
Okay.
but
Something to front line whilst you got OD on the back lines, just smacking them with the arcane orb.
yeah, but then you still have the problem of no
Definitely
disables.
something that can frontline and something
Yeah.
that has disable sounds good. for-
Something
for them.
beefy.
5 seconds.
Like, it's very difficult to pinpoint. So they're still gonna go back for the Sven, which is I mean it's still really good like with the wall cry against the Ursa, but it's very hard to pick in that situation. They don't have really much options because they need too many things. They need tank, they need disable, and obviously Sven provides both of those.
So what's the last four?
But his laning phase against Darkseer, oh, actually it depends on the Oracle. If Oracle can actually stabilize the lane for him, then he should be fine. So for EG, they need mid hero.
Yep, the Sumail hero. Invoker was still in the pool. We'd seen him play a Puck before.
Puck is actually quite good versus the Oracle, and Puck is really good synergy with Ursa as well.
I mean, but we've also seen him play a Nyx for the first time this tournament, a Pugna for the first time this tournament. It really could be anything,
Yeah,
technically.
and I realized that EG is also switching up their playstyle. Before this, they have been picking a lot of dual core strategies, and in this tournament, they've been picking more 4 protect 1. Like EG gives all the farm to one person like RTZ, and then Sumail is more on a playmaker hero. So there's still Bad Rider obviously for that, but Bad Rider against Oracle I'm really
I
okay.
like
Not that
the
great.
most, but
Ooh, a Queen of Pain. Going to be coming out here from EG to round out their lineup. This concludes our draft for our first game here for Day 4 main stage action. We'll go ahead and throw it over to our main stage now as we have our opening casters. It's going to be Toby Wan and Cinderin.
Well, Dakota, it is great to be here. EG going up against Complexity. It's the huge US brand, Cinderin, and, well, I say US brands, but Complexity is also half European. In fact, a little bit more than half.
They have 3 Swedes, right?
Yeah.
It was kind of funny when they played Alliance yesterday and it was like NA versus Sweden. And it's like, well, there's actually 8 Swedish players in this game, but okay.
But I'm looking forward to it. Also, the fact, like, we have PPD going up against Swindles. We know there's been a lot of words being tossed back and forth between them, but how amazing would it be for Complexity, and especially Swindles, if he could actually be the one to take PPD out of a major? Like, that's going to be like an objective on that to-do list before you die ticked.
That's probably, yeah, that's the dream for Swindle. There is definitely some drama to be had here if you're very much into the NA scene, and especially if you go back, I think, a couple of years, then this is a historic game in many ways, actually. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking.
It's a match that you want to win a little bit extra, I think, if you're either captain. It's a grudge match.
The issue is keeping those
Good luck,
emotions in
Jay.
check. Like with PPD, it's a lot easier. Like PPD's got a lot more big stage experience than Complexity does. In fact, all of EG do, apart from maybe Sumail. But Complexity, like I was talking to their manager team like just before this game began, and they're like, we're coming in with so much emotion into this game. And they said, we're still not sure if this is a good thing or a bad thing. It could create rush decisions. It could actually create those times where you're like, I can't believe I did that. And then they just go full tilt against EG, where EG, they've been tried, they've been tested multiple times on bigger stages, and they may be able to just like stand true a lot harder than Complexity.
And the question is also how much these two teams know each other, because I would imagine
Very well.
that they've scrimmed each other quite a bit. The bans in this series were very different from, well, for both teams than what we've seen other teams ban against them respectively. So, yeah, looks like they have quite a bit of intel. I personally favor EG's draft a little bit. I think it's really strong in the early portions of the game, and Complexity, in my opinion, are a little bit too all in on the sustain thing that Dakota was talking about. It's good that they last pick a Sven. It was what I was expecting them to get last, because like Winter said, they needed some disable, some lockdown, and if they get off to a good laning stage Complexity here, they could be very, very explosive in the mid game. You just look at EG's lineup and it looks pretty strong to me.
Yeah, it does. They're gonna wait for it to really kick up to a point, because right now, like, I'm watching this off lane, this dual off lane. You were saying it before when we're discussing like what's gonna happen with the draft. You said the Oracle had to go up to that top lane, Z-Freak, to try and make sure that Universal gets zoned out. But you put Universe in the bottom lane, and then Swindles takes this almost like he starts off with a semi-jungle and lets Hunskin get all the levels inside the lane. Turns the Harass into Universe, and this leaves Chessie to go up against RTZ with the support of PPD. But a Crystal Maiden in the lane, normally this isn't something you also look to do. Hello, middle lane. Ball in after Limb. He's already used his imprisonment, but Fear doesn't have enough damage to find the kill. This is just the first stage of harassment before they come in later.
He's going to have to use his salve here, and he's pretty far away from his bottle. If Sumail gets a little more help here, they might be able to zone Limp so hard that he has to buy additional regen. But yeah, obviously the reason EG are doing this, like you pointed out, you ideally don't want to do this Wisp versus dual off lane, but they just want to dodge Oracle versus Darkseer at all costs. And I think they read this correctly with how they put their lanes. I think this is the ideal lane placement from EG. So, oh, we got a pause. We got settings that are wrong here from Swindle. But yeah, so far so good for both teams, I guess. The laning stage here is not really... We obviously haven't got started that much just yet. There's a little bit of harassment mid, maybe a slight advantage for EG.
You can hear him, but you're slow.
As well as the fact that if this Darkseer just gets to have a good time down here, it's difficult to see Complexity actually threatening him that much with an IO Enchantress lane.
Yeah. Maybe that's when we have to start thinking about like the rotation timing.
Yeah.
Is this also a reason maybe why Hunskin's getting more and more levels? Like they're trying, like, because right now Hunskin's a full level in front of Swindles. If you can get him up to level 6, the rotation timing is going to be a hell of a lot better for him. PPD, he's going to be fine. Z-Free can't find the kill there. But it's just a question mark. Okay, now you actually give the lane to Swindles, and Hunskin's already rotated over. He's picked up his bottle and he's going to join the OD in mid.
And for me, the lane to keep an eye on right now is this top lane. RTZ is playing up very far. He's currently alone with PPD semi-jungling, but I think they're just playing on Complexity, assuming that the Crystal Maiden is still in the neighborhood. And she's going to take that creep, get almost level 3, and now going to rotate together with Fear. And if they do manage to catch Chessie with a rolling boulder, this could be our first blood very, very easily. Z-Freak still does not have Fate's Edict. Currently sitting on level 2.
There's your pull time. As you said, this is the moment for EG. Up on that top lane, Chessie, he comes out just far enough they could have potentially bolted in. But has to be bolted into Frostbite. And now, here she comes, Chessie. Warcry still not triggered. He actually goes for the double storm bolt. Warcry still available. Chessie is going to trigger it now. And Hanskin TPs himself forward to try and help out Chessie. He came in with no bottle charges, however, so there was no big regeneration kicking into Chessie. That's enough to dissuade EG from going for that kill.
I just need to protect him. I think that's good enough for them. As long as EG don't find these early kills, you have the support duo of Crystal Maiden and Earth Spirit that really... I don't want to say they rely on finding early kills, but you really want to do it, especially if you're playing it this way that EG are. And so far so good for coL. They've got great farm in the Sven, obviously, and Enchantress holding her own too.
Yeah, everything just seems very even, and
it's
EG,
very even.
Like, they really need to make this work. Like, one of the big tellers of, like, the Earth Spirit, right? He's got to rotate and find kills. Very similar to, like, early Tuskar rotations and so on and so forth for that hero role. But right now, Fear is, like, he's leeching experience waiting for an opportunity, which just hasn't come. We're only 4 minutes into the game, but you expect the Earth Spirit to have a little bit more impact. Like, he harassed the OD, and he's keeping this top lane defensive, but it's not really slowing down Chessie's CS.
What he did accomplish in that mid lane with the help he did, he gave Sumail, is that Sumail will reach level 6 first. And if he can find a solo kill on this OD, the lane is going to need help, most likely. This is a fairly even matchup on paper, I would say. They're actually identical on CS right now. Okay, Sumail pulls out a little bit there, but yeah, that's probably the lane that Fear will be looking toward, or well, it looks like both Fear and PPD actually will want to pressure Limp, as Sumail probably called them over and says, you know what, in one wave, never mind. Oh, nice kick.
Kicks him back down, and Limp, oh, he's going to astral imprison himself. Hanskin, he's got bottle charges available, no stick charges, and how much damage has he really got? Hanskin is regenerating up Limp, so again, Another movement from EG where they try and find the pickoff. It doesn't work, but top lane, Arteezy being initiated on. Chessie wants to follow this up, but he cannot do it. Arteezy can just break free and walk away.
And I'm a bit surprised that EG actually tried to go for this kill on the OD when Sumail is so close to level 6. I saw the rotation. Yeah, I saw the rotation. I was like, oh, they're setting up for the Sonic Wave, but they went in early.
He can actually play very heavily into fear. That's a dangerous thing to do, especially when you look at Limp and you may not have realized that he's actually stolen 12 intelligence. Gotta be careful with the amount of damage he's able to pump out, and Huntskin always seems to be there at the right time. Like, I was actually thinking that maybe it was a good thing that like EG attacks the top lane, because it gives Universe this raw one-on-one with Swindles on the bottom lane. But at the same time, like, Huntskin has made sure that none of these kills have really been effective. In fact, even just his presence on the top lane stopped it. The regeneration in the mid made it impossible for EG to find that kill. And EG just keep poking and prodding. Arteezy wants to go again. Top lane, Chessie. The charge is on the way with the phase boots up and running. Oh, Warcry tries to beat that one, but it's actually going to be Sumail's rotation down to the bottom lane that finds the first blood on the back of the Sonic Wave. Hello, level 6 Queen of Pain.
Yep, not the target I was imagining he would go on, but regardless, you're just looking for some sort of kill and to get started in that department for EG. I still feel like this isn't really enough just yet. A couple of extra kills for EG would be very useful right now. Like you said, Huntskin got a fast level 3. He's actually still level 3.
Wow.
He's going to get level 4 now. He's just been protecting the lanes very well, and of course that's costing him.
Top lane, Arteezy going to be initiated on. Stormbolt to start with. Z-Freak needs a little bit more damage, and he's just got enough. Barely got enough. But that's still a big kill for Complexity. They have to slow down this Ursa, so it's not the quick, like, Mask of Madness, slip yourself into Roshan and take him out. They have to make sure Arteezy does not get momentum, because he's their only real physical damage. And that puts more pressure on Sumail.
Well, I guess if you want to, you can transition the Queen of Pain into a semi-physical DPS build later. That is potentially why EG chose to pick it over Puck, which I thought would have been a really good choice as well for them this game.
Time to check out bot lane. The smoke over on Arteezy. They're trying to make a play over on Swindles. Now, Swindles actually, he sat on top of 2 iron shells, so he's already a little bit low. They surge in Arteezy. He took his phase boot charges, and Swindles has 3 points of untouchable. Arteezy just fights straight through it. Swindles! There's the damage. Huntskin comes in. He didn't tether and regenerate fast enough, but Arteezy going for more. The tether from Huntskin, he can't save himself. Arteezy triggers the ulti, runs to the tree line, and what a rotation. You think you've actually got the advantage by killing him up on the top lane, and now Z-Freak, no, he can't get there. Universe, he's an enabler with that surge.
That was a great read from Arteezy that he could go for that second kill. It looks pretty scary, you're fairly low on health, there could be a secondary TP coming in, but realizing that Hans can TP on the tier 1, what is the chance really of anyone having TP'd on the tier 2 as well? And if they TP on the tier 1, it takes so long that he can reassess the situation, so very nice from him. But of course it does leave Sven quite a bit of space top.
It does, but I'm wondering where the extra stacks are going to come in for Chessie. Because right now the Dire jungle isn't really stacked at all. There's no ancient stacks as well. This is something which potentially Swindles could have just grabbed 1 creep and stacked it up every now and then. But he's focused more on just lane presence. So the flash farming of the Sven, while it's been great in the lane, he's still the same net worth roughly as the Darkseer. And Universe is pretty, like, he's closing in very quickly on that full mech. Another 600 gold and he's there.
And that's going to give EG absolutely incredible teamfight potential.
Here they go again. Smoke on top.
If they manage to kill the Sven here, this could transition into a tower. Chessie needs to be really careful. Even the IO can't save him here.
Interesting rotation as well at the same time. Swindles is preparing to attack top lane, but Chessie already initiated on the kick. Hits both Chessie as well as Huntskin. Huntskin is giving that extra life back to Chessie. Swindles is on his way, but it will take too long. Chessie with the Warcry and the cleave damage. EG may have overstayed their welcome right now. Arteezy's on the run for Swindles. The Thunder Blast will come in from the front line, so Arteezy, Fear will actually go down to the IO. Arteezy will be able to escape as he enrages up. So the only casualty from that was actually Fear. You'd almost be counting your lucky stars there, EG. The Complexity didn't take more from them.
That looked like miscommunication from EG. They rolling boulder to the Sven, Arteezy starts going in for the Sven, and PPD tries to reach all the way to the back to Frostbite the IO so they can kill him. And you understand why PPD wants to go for this, because Hanskin, I think, had 10 stick charges and a bottle.
Yep.
But if you're trying to make that play, it's actually, I think it's just impossible for them. It's the Sven or nothing. And the moment they go on IO, the Sven is free to just hit as much as he wants, so maybe they didn't actually realize IO was there when they rolled in. And then they were like, oh shit, recovery plan. And
I would be surprised if they didn't know though. Like they've been watching this top lane pretty closely. That observer ward's been almost like, I guess almost full duration observer ward, watching Complexity's movements. Like in fact the vision game from EG, like they saw everything. Like the first time Lim tried to rotate towards the top lane, he got scouted out by a Radiant observer ward just watching the top rune. That's why their first rotation from Lim just stopped and he had to walk back to mid. Lost even more time. The dangerous thing for EG kicking up soon is the fact that Hanskin, he is approaching level 6. They've actually given him the top lane, and after that fight on top, you'd be surprised if EG would come back there. Fear's the only player up there at the moment, and with the observer board, he could basically see what's going
mid lane.
on. Are they actually going to? Centaur stop. Perfect timing. Samuel, no, the ulti drop. Wow. Oh. He almost blinked away. The one charge is triggered and he almost just had enough life to complete his animation.
That was so sick from Swindle. Like, I mean, it's one thing to hit a Centaur Stomp out of Astral against a hero that has Blink, you know, you need some timing, but that was like almost frame perfect, you know? I actually thought he missed.
Yeah.
That's how close it was. It seemed like, okay, this is too early. We're talking a fraction of a second there, probably a tenth.
Limp now on the run. Universe trying to back him back in again. There's still Astral though for OD. And Hanskin again TPs himself in quickly. Just seems like every time EG look for a fight, like apart from the bottom lane, everything has kind of been like a better trade-off for Complexity. Every engagement, every rotation has just worked a lot better for Complexity. Which is still amusing when you look overall for a 12-minute game so far. It's a 2,000 net worth and almost 2,000 experience advantage for Complexity. It's good. You almost feel like it should be a little bit more. Just mentally.
Yeah.
It's Complexity, okay, they're just keeping their eyes now around Roshan. PPD in the cover of smoke, actually Frostbite is one of the saddest. And they've got OD Illusions also scouting out this movement, so EG's burnt another smoke. They're actually out of smokes for 6 minutes now. They can't go again.
Now they just gathered 4 heroes down here. Yeah, I think this is a good choice. Give Fear the level 6. You're gonna need this fairly soon. If you just keep playing the game as you have so far, I think Complexity will slowly just pull ahead, because now they will start stacking with the Sven, and he's going to get very rich very fast. But with that level 6 up here, I still think just the raw teamfight output of EG is insanely strong. Yeah, sure, Complexity have a lot of heals and sustain, but they could actually just get blown up. 2 or 3 of their heroes have very low base health. Oracle, IO, and Enchantress all sitting on less than 1k. And a Quap combo plus just a Crystal Nova and a little bit of Magnetize, and they all die. And so far, so good. Complexity are playing a really good early game. I think they're playing to their strengths. They're good at reinforcing and protecting, and they're playing the greed game.
Well, it's definitely paying off for him. Now that Ancient Stack gets to be done, Chessie, he skyrockets himself up over to about 6.1k net worth. And, well, he actually spent his money on. It's going to be a full Yasha coming the way of this Sven. And they got everything they really want here, Complexity, apart from gold strength. 55 seconds to be ready to fight again. And what's EG going to do? They're going to come to Roshan, but Complexity, they also understand that this is a critical objective for EG. They're taking the Dominator creep, the range creep, and putting him into the Roshan pit. So even if Swindles dies, like Arteezy was chasing for it, but he doesn't have enough now. Limp with the relocate Arteezy, the back, the wall, the kick, and comes the ball respawn from Fear. They turn on the Magnetize, and the Sonic Wave! Samael hits it perfectly. Limp's going down. Arteezy can't finish the job though. Limp gets the ulti off, but it's bittersweet. Chessie is dying right now to the Magnetize. He will survive by TPing back to base. But EG, you have to remember the combo. You called it perfectly, Sin. You have to give it respect. And EG just taught Complexity a new one. Support or not, they brought the whole team and it wasn't enough.
That's some nasty AoE right there, gotta say. Jesus Christ. And it wasn't even perfect. Like that was really good from EG, but the vacuum into stone kick, boulder smash, I think only hit 2 out of the 4 heroes. If he hits them all, they clean that 5-0 easily. So it can still be done even better by EG. And if Complexity aren't careful, the next time we could just see that execution out from them. But you know, if you're EG after that fight, you're not going to be like, come on, Fear. It is a very difficult combo to land, and they did so well there.
Dude, Fear's been playing out of his mind through this entire tournament. The fact that it's like his synergy that he just teamed up there with Universe, yeah, it was absolutely stupendous. But one of the big questions I had, even going into the drafting phase, was how was Complexity going to deal with Fear? His Mirana, his Nyx Assassin, they've been totally on point yesterday, and like I don't think this guy can really do a wrong. Complexity will attack the bottom lane, Ichi will let this go. Because they don't have their combo at the moment, so there's no reason to take the risk. Or is there? Universe is coming down, he's got the mech, yeah, they're TPing in on this. Fortification can make Chessie wait a little bit longer. Now remember, Samel does not have his Sonic Wave through the Shadow Strike and the Frostbite. Chessie, Hanskin, he's got the relocate, but again, Fear with a kick, and here comes the back, another wall! Turn on the Magnetize, and everyone's just so attractive. Chessie trying to find his damage, he finds PPG, but that Nova did so much work. Now the test will wear off. Samel still stuck in the tree lines. Limp will find the kill, but Arteezy back to the world, another kick. This is Ronaldo Fear right now, chasing into the trees. Swindle will be brought down. Arteezy with a triple, and that is 2 catastrophes of a fight for Complexity in the space of 2-3 minutes. And this is also Roshan.
Yeah, I think the decision making from Complexity here actually, it does make sense, right? There's big ultimates on cooldown for EG. They know that they don't have the Sonic Wave. I guess actually that's the only spell that would be on cooldown there.
That was the bigger one.
But it's really important for coL that ability is on cooldown, so I don't blame them for trying that. But at the same time, EG, they have this read that with that glyph, they buy enough time to get in position, and the boulder smash again from Fear, hitting the Sven and the IO, just makes for a very easy initiation for Fear. And in addition to that, of course, a great freezing field there for PPD. Got a pretty much full channeled one off.
The Sven didn't really go anywhere. In fact, the Sven, for the majority of his God Strength and just his time at the start of the fight, was there sitting next to PPD. Like, he wasn't even able to hit him until later into the fight. And PPD still survived through it all, too. Complexity have to be concerned now. And what do you really do at this point? You're going to fall behind in your item timings. Limp is trying to get himself into this Rod of Atos, so they can start to kite the Ursa a lot more, but Ursa now has a Blink Dagger, so Arteezy is the one initiating. Unless Limp gets a really good Astral when Arteezy jumps in, they're not really going to be able to control the damage that Arteezy does during the fight.
I just think this game is really difficult for Complexity right now, and it's not because they're far behind. Like, it's 3K, but there's an Aegis they're playing into, and they're playing into stronger team fights, so they have to try to play the greed game still. And maybe in hindsight for coL, they gave EG a chance for those last 2 fights where they actually just set them up by trying to engage on Arteezy the first time, the second time on pushing the tower, whereas if they would have played it more defensive and just farmed, they dodged EG's smokes. Like, they did a really good job at not getting caught out, but then when they forced, it backfired really hard.
Yeah.
I think they have to wait for some better items before they look for these fights. BKBs in particular are extremely good against EG's lineup.
Well, unfortunately, Chessie went for the Yasha to start with, and it looks like it's actually going to be... yeah, it's actually the SMY build even for Chessie, so you're not even going to have the BKB for Complexity. They need to buy more time and space for them for Chessie.
It should be their second items anyway. I think the OD Atos into BKB and then Sven, Sanjin Yasha into BKB sounds pretty good.
Do they have the time and space though to pick this
up?
up?
That is the question. But if they don't, I feel like
Chessie? Hans gonna have to relocate, save him out. Yeah. There's no other choice. They must have been really worried about that because this didn't really have to be this way. Chessie, he was very indecisive into running into the tree line, selling the stick and just buying a TP scroll back. And now Hanskin has to tether himself out. He'll start the TP, but Arteezy finds himself now his 5th kill for the game in 19 minutes. And another critical item now. So you make it your Rod of Atos over on the OD, but Samel now has an Orchid. He can start going for solo kills on a lot of Complexity's lineup.
Yeah, that is so good this game. Easy solo kill on Oracle or IO. The other heroes of Complexity should be tanky enough. Swindles has a cloak and 1 charges.
They're looking for an opening on bottom. Universe has a blink dagger of his own. Like if it wasn't crazy enough, he was always in position for the fights previously. Now you got the blink dagger. Plus, oh wow, they're actually coupling the damage. The Veil of Discord's already finished on Fear, and that's easy. He's just going ham over on this Ven again. Hunskin will come in to help him out. But it's creating space to push into this tier 2 tower. And even PPD's gonna have enough money soon to have a heal.
I would not advise him to go in now.
This time the kick will be on target, and in they come, the cleave, but no, the back wall, Sonic Wave, the combo is just too good. Swindles, you might be protected at the moment from the false promise, but will it be enough? It will be. Z-Freak's on the run, Samel's right behind him, the Shadow Strikes slow him down. He doesn't have the Orca, but Z-Freak didn't hide up. Limp, nicely done from him, but still, Complexity are losing heroes, and they're gonna lose their tier 2 tower on bottom lane.
Every single team fight win for EG is putting themselves in a position where coL want to engage,
They're going
and they
further.
go to counter-engage with their combo. Sure, why not? They've got 20 seconds power play here, 5 on 3.
Oh, they jump
and
in.
Swindle's dead.
Oh my. And they want to go for more. If they can catch up to him, the kick. They got Hunskin as well. They back in. They got the Orchid on the eye. There's no saving grace here. We are 20 minutes in, and Samael is underneath the tier 4 tower, was almost to the Complexity fountain, killing off, well, anyone he can find.
And this can't be feeling good if you're Complexity, because you probably have the read on the game that you were doing very well early, and they just they completely dropped the ball in the last 10 minutes, just giving EG so many kills by trying to fight when, you know, I can understand that they're trying, but at the same time you got to respect the strength of your opponents, and they keep setting themselves up for these really good combos, and you have to expect that players of this caliber from EG will be able to land these combos. And
this is the concern we were having. This is the concern we're having with Complexity. If the emotions get too much from, like, they're playing really, really well, one team fight doesn't happen, then you get almost, I don't want to say baited. Like, it was just EG playing amazingly with that fight underneath the tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. Like, that happened, and Complexity's emotions have to drop at that point. Like, that's the tilt moment. And it's going to be a test of Complexity's just team morale, if they can hold themselves together, keep their minds in this game, and try and find a path to victory. We've seen Sven's kick back previously, as you said, Sin, like, look for those critical items, get the BKBs up on the Sven as well as the OD, and look to have more favorable fights. They were able to outmaneuver EG previously, can they do it again?
Dire's top tower is under
it certainly is difficult right now. You can see a change in pace simply from Complexity. There are 3 heroes mid, just 2 heroes sitting behind Limp. The IO Sven are trying to split push, and this is, you know, this is the greedier way of playing. It's not the greediest, because with all that they gave away, it's probably a bit too hard for them to just keep farming all 3 lanes right now.
Oh, there's an opening, they can see it. Yep. With the smoke up by Complexity, Universe walks right on top of the Observer Ward. He gets his own Observer Ward there too, so probably might be feeling a little bit more confident. Arteezy, that's the bigger one. They'll slow him down, the Troll Trap's available, but Arteezy, he just enrages and runs away. The relocate's too far out, but no, they caught him with the Oracle. Universe finds the 5-man back wall, the Sonic Wave! The damage is huge, but he didn't follow it up. A little bit more Fears there, turning on the Magnetizer's PPD. Let's the ult Europe, the relocate will drag it back out. There's still a 2-for-1, this is good for Complexity as long as they don't lose Limp, but there's just no way out. He's surrounded on all sides. Swindle starts to TP, but once again, Fear just kicking a goal. Swindles will go down. Complexity, they lose 3. It looked good at the start, but damn, Universe, his Darkseer is one of the best in the world for a very good reason, and that is probably reason number 322. That was just too good.
That was so incredible. 5-man back wall. I think the Sonic Wave hit 4 of them, was a little bit delayed. But they, again, the read from EG, they actually willingly take the fight after Arteezy dies. They know that their combo is that strong that when Complexity have committed key abilities to try to kill off this Ursa.
He sees Hanskin thanks to the ward. Hanskin will just tether himself away in time.
Oh, Fear's going for Ags, it looks like. That's something
PPD.
we don't see Earthquake
gold
very much.
4-star, Chessie keeps up with him thanks to the Blink Dagger. Frostbite, making life a little bit harder for Chessie. He's got his Storm Bolt, so this is the Crystal Maiden that you're struggling to kill off. PPD will go down. He bought his Etherland's recipe before death, however. So not too much money is lost.
That's a little bit greedy from Peter to go and farm here.
They saw him too, thanks to the Observer one.
Yeah. But it's like, you weigh the risk reward there, you go and get that camp, or you get killed in the enemy jungle and give them a little bit of time to get out on the map.
Want to keep my eyes on Roshan. He potentially can
He had a
spawn up in
dominating
15
streak, by the way.
seconds.
He was 4-0 and 11 on the Crystal Maiden, so that kill gave a little bit of extra gold over to the IO.
Not bad, but what does he really do with it? Okay, he actually is very close to the mech.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's easy. He wants to jump. He's got Diffuser Blade up right now. 8 charges ready and rearing to go. Chessie still hitting into the tower. Swindle sitting on the tree line side. They're going to surge up Arteezy, but he's not feeling the opening. So this surge is going to come in late. Swindles is probably the only one really exposed here from Complexity. But EG don't find the opening, so they don't jump. Alright, so it's actually a quick spawn time for Roshan as well. We've got 50 seconds until he's up.
This just goes to show how snowbally of a game Dota can be sometimes. They killed the position 5 of the Radiant team, and it gets them a tower and almost completing it actually gives them a mech on IO too. That one kill gave IO in total 800 gold. And a lot of momentum to Complexity. That mech can make a huge difference when you look at how these fights have been going down.
EG, wait. They just have to wait. Like, they need 10 seconds. Obviously, with that dominated creep, the Wild Wing Ripper being inside the pit, is too hard just to slip yourself in and take that kill. Instead, they go to mid. Chessie initiated on. They need the kick, and there she is. Chessie held in position once again. And back. The Universe goes in so deep. Somehow with a Sonic Wave. D-Freak and Hunskin will stay alive, but in comes Fear again. Turning on the Magnetite. Right on top of Complexity. Throw down the rocks, but Complexity, they do kill off Sumail. And Chessie, he wants to go for more here. A little bit hard when Fear just keeps kicking limp into oblivion. And Chessie, he's locked in position. He's actually dying right now. Thanks to the Veil, he will survive with Hanskin tethering in at the last moment. It was scrappy, but it's good for Complexity. They kill off the Queen of Pain just as Roshan spawns up as well.
I think that mech kept 3 heroes alive. They just got it. And this time around, EG dive a lot deeper and Complexity are in a better position. It's EG engaging, Complexity are spread out. Universe still gets a decent back wall, I think, on 2 heroes. But the Sonic Wave coming in and hitting the same 2, it's just not enough. They can't follow through as hard in behind that tower when they open like that. And all playing to their strength there behind that.
I think you hit the nail on the head, man. This is cause and effect right now. PPD dies, it gives the timing for Hanskin to get the mech, and then the big team fight, EG willingly go into it when that mech comes up. I don't think they actually knew about it beforehand.
I don't think they knew that.
Or else they would never have made that play. Universe went in and it didn't control as well as his previous initiations. Of course, controlling up all 5 heroes in his previous one is difficult to top.
Yeah. Next time we'll get 5 heroes and an Enchantress. Yeah, this is a pretty good last 5 minutes from Complexity. They're taking the chances they're given. It's not big chances, but they're definitely still in this game.
How much is that? Okay, so this
is
not too bad.
First BKB up.
How far is the OD away from his? Because he actually ended up bypassing with the Dragon Lance.
Curious to see if he's going to disassemble this and build BKB, and then I don't know if he would want to keep that quarterstaff for anything.
Here goes Arteezy. They started up. It's a nice Radiant Observe Ward up on the hillside. Now Complexity have no way to get rid of this. They're not walking around with a gem, and they've only got the sentries over on Z-Freak. So by the time they get down to Roshan, he's already dead. Arteezy doesn't even have to use his Enrage for this. And yeah, you send the troll in from Enchantress, it's a little bit too late. Arteezy's already got the Aegis, and he's going to go for Swindles. The attack comes in, unfortunately doesn't have the overpower right now, but Universe will buy that control time, combining with the Nova, and there you go, Arteezy taking out the Enchantress. And that's 50 seconds on the sideline, but buyback is available. But you really don't want to have to expend that as this Enchantress. You need every little cent you've got.
Yeah, EG need to be a little bit careful if they push too fast up here. He won't have Enrage on Ursa. Sure, he has the Aegis, but you don't really want to just throw that away if you can get a good... Like, they really want to get nail the combo on the first try.
Yeah. In that case, we should be keeping our eyes on Universe's position.
He'll be okay. He'll have it ready.
Complexity this time are a lot more nicely split up.
Radiant's middle tower.
Limp goes to the far east. Chessie has to play the frontline role. Obviously, he's the deep push here. Oh, 4-star, nice enough by PPD. But Chessie in a bad position. Hanskin trying to get it back out, but he got past. He could have finished him with a Sonic Wave. They bring down Suspend. The only imprisonment will make sure Hanskin sticks around to die. Complexity, they've lost 2 without buyback. Z-Freak will keep Limp alive, but again, Fear, he goes for the kick to find the target. The defensive imprisonment, how much life will OD have as he comes back out? TBD lets it go, and OD just pops almost a second is done. Even the Radiant Courier dying up in the middle of all of this. Arteezy, is he wanting to get back out? The OD has fought back, and PPD on the run back out. You've got the Eclipse, but there's just not enough time. Limp was actually silenced, he can't finish the job. They've lost him again. This could be the game right now. Swindles will go down as well. They'll chase up the Z-Freak. One more hit, there she blows. 27-10, EG, they will take the bottom rank. The only thing that really slows them down here is 1, the creep wave is not instantly there, and 2, they still have tier 2 towers up in the mid and the top lane. That may be the only reason why Complexity don't want to concede this.
Fear is so good this tournament. It's just a pleasure to watch that. It doesn't matter what hero they put him on. His positioning and his reads on fights, it's absolutely incredible. If you go back to that fight and you just follow Fear around, look at how he predicts movements before they even happen, and he's always in the right position to get the most effective shoulder smashes out over and over again.
You really can't stop him, man. Like, he's actually gone
why
again.
not? Let's get another one.
Range kick from Fear. Hanskin again. This time he will be successful with a relocate out. And damn, they needed that. If they lost to Sven right now, like, that would just be completely crippling. But he is still the highest net worth. That's maybe the funniest thing where we gotta give, like, props. Get away, Jesse!
I see nothing wrong here.
Everything is balanced. But Jesse still has the highest net worth on the entire field. Like, that's kind of like the irony of this whole situation, where it feels like Complexity just cannot take a team fight because they're getting over-controlled by EG. And all this money of Sven, it goes to waste, because it doesn't achieve anything.
He can't do it all on his own, and everyone else is just so out-farmed.
Like, if he had a Darkseer combo, okay, now they go Arteezy. Well,
Nice reaction.
BKB very, very quick. Again, they go for the follow-up kick, but no one from Complexity was going to force the issue.
Oh, looks like EG might be thinking about this, even though they have BKB on cooldown for Arteezy. They were posing just a little bit there with maybe going in.
Why wouldn't you? You're gonna have so much confidence at the moment. You got a level 3 Sonic Wave ready to go. Even a level 2 Freezing Field if it comes to that. But the bigger thing is you got an Aghanim Scepter Earth Spirit. Like, how does Complexity even find a kill? Like, Fear's in the right place at the right time on the right EG channel every single time. Complexity just can't. Okay, they go on easy, but again, they just break him free. Universe goes in, the back wall, Swindles the middle of that PPD. He's letting it go until finally the imprisonment will stop it. The Complexity wants to. Chessie, he'll finally get rid of the purple rat being Universe. He's in so deep. We've split the fight to 2 different paths, but Chessie, he's in no man's land under the tier 3 tower. Hanskin's the only one to survive this, and he is not enough. The creep wave is pushing in through bottom. He can't even de-push this. He can pull it back to his fountain and that's all. But EG will just storm down mid. There is buyback over on this Sven. So Complexity, this is their spirit though. Like, a lot of other teams would probably, like, they'll consider conceding, but not Complexity. They fight to the bitter end until, like, the hope is completely removed, and the only hope they care about is if their fountain dies. That's it. Hope will remain until that point.
I mean, we saw a huge comeback yesterday with OG versus Fnatic. That was the biggest comeback of the tournament until then. For Complexity to come back here is... Complexity coming back here would be even more ridiculous than that game was.
This mid tower, 3 seconds over on the OD, and they're jumping in. Vanny's got a buyback now. OD's up, but they've just lost their Oracle, and they've just lost the Enchantress. The saving grace and that long-range damage is gone. I just can't see a way this can be stopped. Like, you buy a Mask of Madness now over on Chessie. Like, he's trying to increase his attack speed because he can't afford something like a Moonshot, and they jump in. They go on limb. He already used his imprisonment, so he was just a sitting duck.
And this is, you know, if Complexity are holding on to... Uh-oh.
It's Chessie, like, you can't kill an Earth Spirit. And look at him. Like, he's just gonna stone him. And then ball himself out. With the TP, Chessie can't stop Jack. And the Sonic Wave, Chessie's gone. Okay, this is almost becoming too detrimental for Complexity. GG, well played. They were just taking punishment after punishment and willingly taking it. EG, just such a solid play, and if people don't vote, in the words of Blitz, the ball players do not get enough respect. Fear, he was playing out of his mind in this game.
I don't know, I think you can make a case for Universe too, though.
Oh yeah.
The entire team just actually played so well, so damn well, all of them. And Classic EG, when they need to bring their A game, they do.
And absolutely love it. EG, what a start. That's going to be confidence right there going into game number 2. Of course, Complexity